History has been made here in Glasgow.
My delight at this progress is tinged with disappointment.
The reality is that what has happened here is very significant. Is it everything everybody wanted in every place? No.
Hi, it's Jessica Shankleman here from Bloomberg News. I'm travelling on the train coming back from Glasgow to London after a late night conference finished. I'm just going to take you through a couple of the main takeaways from the talks last night. One of the biggest breakthroughs was there was a line agreed that countries would end the use of inefficient fossil fuel subsidies, and that's the first time that fossil fuels were mentioned in a climate deal. They also agreed that they would seek to phase down the use of unabated coal. However, there was a last-minute fight on the floor of the plenary room, and India and China managed to get their way and have that language watered down slightly from phasing out to phasing down.
We would like to express our profound disappointment that the language that we have agreed on coal and fossil fuel subsidies has been further watered down.
To all delegates, I apologise for the way this process has unfolded. And I'm deeply sorry.
The agreement says that countries need to halve emissions between 2010 and 2030, and they also agreed that they would come back next year and try to revitalise their climate pledges, cut carbon emissions a little bit more, or quite a lot more, during the 2020s in order to reach that goal, because the bad news is that at the moment the world is still on track for 2.4 degrees Celsius of global warming compared to pre-industrial levels. There was also a breakthrough agreement on creating a globally regulated carbon market. This is something that countries have been trying to agree for the last 6 years. They reached deadlock in Madrid in 2019, but finally they managed to get that agreement, even though many green groups say that that final agreement on carbon markets is quite weak and could actually lead to an increase in emissions. So a lot of the questions now are about how it's going to be implemented. Also, some of the most vulnerable countries to climate change, like low-lying islands and African countries, didn't leave with the money they needed to be able to tackle climate change and shift to green energy sources.
Come here with a single agenda, which is to help the poorest people on the planet who are already suffering from the impacts of human-induced climate change. And we needed a Glasgow facility on loss and damage finance here. 138 developing countries put language in the text yesterday. It got removed overnight. It's not there anymore. It's been replaced by an offer for a dialogue. That's all they want to do, a dialogue.
Disappointing?
Absolutely disappointing and totally unacceptable.
Finally, there was a breakthrough deal on Wednesday between China and the U.S., where Shankleman and John Kerry agreed that the world's two biggest emitters would take more steps to tackle emissions and cut pollution. However, there weren't many concrete pledges in that.
We are, in fact, closer than we have ever been before to avoiding climate chaos and securing cleaner air, a safer water, and healthier planet because of this agreement.